piece of string. At the end of market day, the rich people with vehicles of all kinds, carts, gigs, wagons, dump carts, gathered at a great big hall for a great meal. There were chickens, pigeons, and legs of mutton in the roost, and appetizing odor of roast beef, leaf, and gravy dripping over the bronze skin, which increased the appetite and made every day's mouth water. Everyone told his affair, his purchase and sales. The dinner discussed the crop and the weather, which was favorable for the green things, but not for what suddenly at the sound of drum beat in the court. Everybody rose from the street, except a few ones who still had the food in their hands. After the drumbeat had ceased, the drumbeater called out to the people, who were now attentive and impatiently waiting for dinner, for him to call out the public announcement. It is hereby made known to the inhabitants of this place, and in general to all persons in the market, that a black leather pocketbook containing few hundred shillings and some business paper was lost on the road between 9 and 10 in the morning. The finder is requested to return the same to the mayor's office or to the Mr. James, the caretaker of this public hall. This will be a reward of 20 shillings. After the meal had concluded, the chief of the police appeared on the scene. He inquired, "Is Mr. Hubbard here?" Mr. Hubbard, seated at another end of the table, replied, "Here am." The police officer went up him and said, "Mr. Hubbard, will you please accompany me to the mayor's office? The mayor would like to talk to you." Mr. Hubbard, surprised and disturbed, followed the police officer. The mayor, a stout, serious man, was waiting for Hubbard. "Mr. Hubbard," he said, "you were seen this morning to pick up the pocketbook lost by Mr. James." Mr. Hubbard, the simple countryman, looked at the mayor's astonished and already terrified by the suspicions resting on him. "Why me picked up the pocketbook?" "Yes, you yourself. By my words of honor, I never heard of it. But you were seen." "I was seen with the pocketbook." "Who saw me?" "Mr. Manana, the harness man, saw you pick up the pocketbook." Mr. Hubbard, the tall man, remembered, understood, and flushed with anger. "Oh, him! Yes, he saw me pick up the string here." And as he said so, he drew out the little piece of string from his pocket. But the mayor shook he had and said, "You will not make me believe that Mr. Manana, who is man of worthy credence, mistook the code for a pocketbook." Mr. Hubbard, the patient, furiously lifted his hand, spat at one side. "After picking up the object, you stood here looking a long while in the mud to see if any money had fallen out." The good soul Mr. Hubbard choked with indignation and fear. How anyone can tell such lies to take away an honest man's reputation? How can anyone? There was no use of Mr. Hubbard protesting, for nobody believed him. Mr. Manana repeatedly maintained that Mr. Hubbard had picked up the pocketbook for an hour. Both men abused each other, then ate him. On request, Mr. Hubbard was searched. Nothing was found on him. Finally, the mayor discharged Hubbard with warning that he would consult the public proce- pro- and asked for further order. As he left the mayor's office, people surrounded and questioned him with serious curiously. Nobody believed his history of the string. Instead, people laughed at him. Mr. Hubbard went along stopping his friend, giving them his statement and presentation, turning his pocket inside out to prove that he had nothing. All they said was, "You old rascal, get out of here."